When it comes to deer nutrition, we depend on a 365-day-a-year system. That's why we rely on Big Time.
I'm not walking around that thing.
Be careful. Hey, seriously, that ain't nothing to play with right there.
Dude, there is the biggest snake I've ever seen in my life. Right 10 foot from us. Dude, you better hit him in the head.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom.
The Raven Project is brought to you by Big Time. Attract, develop, grow.
That means what I think it means. We're in trouble.
Case IH. Rethink productivity.
Dear Lord in heaven.
Hawk Optics. Vision accomplished.
Hey, what a sham hill.
Deer Grow. Better food plots, bigger deer. Scentlock. The most effective whitetail gear ever made.
Better find myself some camouflage.
Good right there. I ain't that big, I'd have been hunting him myself.
Joker's down, dude. We are back, man. I mean, after all the good times, all the fun, and all the memories last year, we are even more excited for this year. I got my cousin, an honorary chef, Big Rig, coming into camp.
Man, we've showed you guys over the last couple years exactly what we've done at the Raven, why we've done it, how we've done it, and we've really taken that place from ground zero, from scratch, from a blank canvas, showing you, you know, what we look for whenever we went in there and looked to plan out food plots, to putting those food plots in, what it took to put them in, to what to plant, when to plant, why we're planting specific blends, to how we hang tree stands, where we hang tree stands, where we put blinds, how we scout in the summertime, to down to what goes through our heads on how we pick strategies and pick places to hunt during the fall. I mean, really from start to finish, the whole process we've documented and shown you on the Raven Project there at the Raven in Missouri. But now it's time to move on, man. It's time for another project. It's time to take it to another state.
I've never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma. I kinda like the music, ain't never been before.
Well, I never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, my brother comes to me with this crazy idea. Hey, we're buying a farm in Oklahoma.
I tell you, I fell in love with Oklahoma after this past fall. We filmed a show for headhunters down here. I love the terrain. I love the deer down here. I love the hunting, how they hunted them. And man, I just, whenever we started looking to add property, Oklahoma was definitely at the top of my list after experiencing it this past fall. You know, when this place come up, it was actually the very first property that we looked at down here. And I instantly knew like we could do so much with this property.
As if everything with the Raven Project, King of the Raven, and Headhunters was not already wild and bonkers enough. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna add a ton of excitement and a ton of good times. I also think that it's probably gonna put a little bit more on our plate.
You could have took the spreader off at any point the other day before you tore it up.
I didn't tear it up, you tore it up.
I didn't tear nothing up. I mean, you would think that I would be just super excited and ready to just sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor on the Raven, man, because we've taken that place from a 0 to basically a 10 in a short period of time, like 3 years. All the dang blood, sweat, and tears that went into making the Raven what it is today, man, we're about to do it all over again in a completely different state. Can we pull it off? I don't know.
We've got like 12 acres out here.
total. So we know it's going to be hopefully a huge destination field, but how are we going to make it more huntable? Number one, first and foremost, we got a Radix feeder down there, so that's going to help. And after just driving by it 15 times the last couple days, what I think we ought to do, we already got that tripod in down there, is put this into clover, because I mean, it's the middle part of the day right now, and you can see it's staying fairly shaded, even as hot as it is and as sunny as it is. So I think clover would do good in there, and then that'll allow us to have, you know, 10 acres still of drawing power of later season, you know, turn. Man, when we walked into this place, I was instantly excited, but also felt like I was a little bit in a corner, because I knew, although the infrastructure was here, you know, the fields were here, the timber was here, we had river frontage here, we had a lot of pieces to the puzzle, but they hadn't been put together yet. Man, the very first time I looked at this place, you know, like I said, the fields are in place, so I know I've got the acreage already that I pretty much need on this place to be able to put food in. The problem is they've not had anything done with them for a while, so I know I'm gonna have to go in there, clean these fields up, and get them pretty much, you know, plant ready. It's just a matter of going in and doing the work that needs to be done to actually take them from a rough field that they've got to, because they've not been planted in a while, to back to the way they need to be able to plant a palatable and grow a palatable food plot in there. If you look at Onyx right here, I can kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about. Like right here, you can see I've got that, we're sitting right here, that border line is right here dividing this big part from this little bottleneck right here. That's where I want to put the clover.
Are we going to put another blind or stand on that?
Yeah,
one too,
I think
or?
What I'm thinking is especially for a rifle setup, so I'm thinking if we have like a main event blend or a long range blend of big kind in this big part, go ahead and put a Titan blind down there and almost make it strictly for, I mean, we could bow hunt out of it, but more looking and planning to rifle hunt out of it. I'm just thinking, man, I'm just looking at this and envisioning the perfect spot for you, because I feel like you don't want to put any more effort than you have to, and camp is literally right there.
I think that is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
How?
Dude, I know how you are. The first thing that comes down here that's literally decent, first off, I'm going to get freaking kicked out of my spot, and that's the truth. When it comes to getting me fired up, this is about as fired up as I can get. I like fishing and I like having a good time. And what does my brother want to do? Ruin all of it. And second off, you're going to be like, okay, everybody be quiet. Lights off at 7 o'clock. There's going to be no side-by-sides, no music, no outdoor kitchening. There's going to be nothing. It's going to be like a freaking just camp.
I feel like it's a perfect combination, because this is going to look like a well-groomed golf course when I get it in clover. And then it's going to transition right into your fishing hole over there.
Dude, you don't even have to leave camp.
What are you doing?
Dude, this is freaking, I can literally see the back door right now. I'm gonna get out here, you're not gonna let me fish, you're not gonna let me hit golf
well, let's
balls,
just see what
listen
happens.
to music, and the freaking light's gonna be off at 7 o'clock.
fine.
This is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, as you people can see camp here 25 yards behind me. My brother's got this giant plan about this huge lush clover plot. As I'm looking over my left shoulder here, I've got my fishing hole, which will no longer exist either. If you like to do it, just mark it off the list, including killing big deer, because the first thing that comes in here over a 6 point, I'm out, I'm gone. I'll be on the freaking back 40. It's done.
Come on, get in the buggy.
Screw you, dude. We're freaking 20 yards from camp. I'm walking back and I'm gonna be loud as shit.
Okay. Bye. The boy ain't got good brains.
The Raven Project is brought to you by Heavy Built Quality Products Built to Last. Redix, rule the wild. Titan Hunting Blinds, defend, contain, and provide. Midwest Sports Center, your premier power sports dealer.
First evening ever of recon at the Dirty Bird. Got spotting scopes, binos, Uzis, grenades. Really don't know what we're getting into. Hopefully we're gonna find some velvet bugs.
Man, I'm super pumped to get the glass out, get some binoculars and spotting scopes out, and get down in these bottoms and really start looking and scouting. You know, in this big river bottom here on the North Canadian River, I don't know what's gonna step out. And just everything being new, has just got the excitement level to a whole nother level.
Yeah, they just jumped into the feeder.
Even though we got a lot of feeder locations going, they're new. You know, a lot of these deer hadn't got accustomed to them yet, and it's going to take time. So maybe, you know, we might only be getting 40 to 50% of our deer that's hitting these feeders and going in front of a trail camera. So I'm excited because, you know, in this big river bottom here on the North Canadian River, I don't know what's going to step out.
They're right on that feeder down there. You see them? Just a group of young ones. There's a 2-year-old, looks like a 2-year-old 8-pointer in there. 3 little 1.5-year-old. I saw from back there, I saw a better buck coming this way though. I don't know if he's not coming around that point right there behind us yet. Evening scout number 1 on the Dirty Bird. And what I'm seeing is no mature deer.
After going out and getting eyes on some of these deer, we really didn't see what we had hoped for as far as mature deer goes, but we are seeing a lot of younger deer, and I truly think that on this particular piece of property, especially the time of year that we're in, from as much, you know, natural browse that's out right now, and the way the deer are spread out, and just the fact that we're just getting feeders going and we're just getting food plots back in here for the first time, I really think the later it goes into the summer and even into the fall, I think we're going to still see a lot more deer come in, and we're going to, that pulling power of what we got going on and setting up right now is going to pay off in the next 3 to 4 months.
You see that where those, well, there's like 4 down here in the field, and then up there in those trees, there's a bunch moving down to the right.
I'm not 1 ounce concerned just because we go out one night and we don't see, you know, a giant. I'm not discouraged at all, because I know for a fact, you know, sooner or later, and sooner than later, there's going to be some good deer on this place.
You ready? Let's roll out. Okay. Let's go. Man, I am starving.
I feel like, man, the seal has been cracked, the can has been cracked open, and it's gotten started at the Dirty Bird. I mean, we've laid eyes on it. We're starting to get a plan together. Now it's time to really, at the end of the day, stop talking about it and start doing it. I mean, we've got a plan laid out. We're strategizing. We got a list of to-dos for this week. We got to get down and get our hands dirty, man. It's time to go to work.
The Raven Project is brought to you by Outdoor Edge Knives, Field to Freezer, and everything in between. Hooeyman, your land, your legacy. On X Hunt app, know where you stand. Baker Implement, trusted equipment of the Raven Project.